Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel. In today's video, we're taking an in-depth look at a coin that has stirred curiosity among collectors for decades, the 1979 Italian 100 lire coin, particularly the version that is often described as having no mint mark. While it may appear like an ordinary piece of change to some, this coin is part of a fascinating chapter in Italian numismatic history. From its historical roots and symbolic design to the questions surrounding its mint mark and its current value in 2025, we'll break down everything you need to know about this intriguing coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a history lover, or someone who just found this coin in an old drawer, this video will provide you with a complete overview. To understand the significance of the 1979 Italian 100 lire coin, we must first explore the broader context in which it was minted. Italy, after World War II, entered a new era as a republic. The lira remained the official currency until the transition to the euro in 2002. During the latter half of the 20th century, the 100 lire coin became one of the most recognized denominations in daily Italian life. The year 1979 marked an interesting turn in the country's coinage, not just for its economic conditions but for its participation in a global initiative. That year, Italy released a commemorative version of the 100 lire coin in association with the Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO. This was part of an international campaign to raise awareness for food security and the fight against world hunger. The obverse of the coin features a serene female head, classically styled and facing left, symbolizing the Italian Republic and the nurturing spirit of the nation. The reverse depicts a cow nursing its calf, a powerful image meant to represent nourishment and agricultural prosperity. Above this design is the phrase, nutrire il mondo, meaning, nourish the world, while below it is the denomination, the year 1979, and typically, a small mint mark representing the Rome Mint, the capital city where most Italian coins were produced during that era. The 1979 100 lire coin was struck in agmonitol, a durable stainless steel alloy that allowed for long circulation life. It weighs approximately 8 grams, with a diameter of 27.8 millimeters. Its edge is reeded, and its design is both elegant and symbolic, combining Italy's classical heritage with a modern humanitarian message. Coins produced in Rome often carry the mint mark, which is located on the reverse of the coin, near the bottom. This is a standard feature for coins minted in Italy's national mint during the period. However, this is where the mystery begins. Some collectors have noted examples of this coin where the mint mark appears to be missing entirely. These coins are commonly referred to as no mint mark versions. The question is, are these legitimate minting errors, or is there another explanation? The absence of a mint mark on any coin can spark speculation and interest, especially among collectors who are always on the lookout for rare varieties and minting anomalies. In the case of the 1979 100 lire coin, reports of a missing mint mark have been circulating for many years. In most cases, the explanation is straightforward. The mint mark on this coin is very small and can easily become faint or worn due to heavy circulation. Over time, coins rub through pockets, tills, and wallets naturally experience wear, and small design elements like mint marks are often the first to fade. Additionally, some coins may have been struck with weak pressure or worn dies, leading to mint marks that are barely visible or missing altogether. However, there remains the possibility, albeit slim, that a very small number of these coins were struck without the mint mark entirely due to a minting error. Such errors can occur if the die used to strike the coin was improperly prepared or if the mint mark was accidentally omitted during the die creation process. authenticating such an error requires careful examination under magnification and often the expertise of a professional numismatist or grading service. Unfortunately, in the absence of official documentation or widespread acknowledgement of such a variety, the no mint mark 1979 100 lire remains, for now, an unofficial and speculative error. In terms of mintage, the 1979 100 lire FAO coin was produced in large numbers, well into the tens of millions. This makes it, by standard measures, a common coin. As a result, the vast majority of these coins hold only modest value today, especially in circulated condition. Rarity in the world of coin collecting is determined by multiple factors: total mintage, survival rate, condition, and demand. While the mintage was high, the survival rate of coins in truly uncirculated or mint state condition is considerably lower. Most of the coins that remain today show signs of wear, scratches, or loss of detail due to decades of use. Any coin suspected of being a true mint error, such as a missing mint mark, must be scrutinized carefully. Because no officially recognized no mint mark version has been catalogued as a separate variety, such pieces are not widely accepted as rare unless independently certified. Over the decades, the market value of the 1979 100 lire coin has remained relatively stable. For many years, it has been considered a basic collector's coin, interesting for its historical context but not particularly rare or valuable in average condition. In circulated condition, these coins have generally traded for less than the cost of a cup of coffee. However, coins in exceptional condition, those that are bright, unmarked, and exhibit full mint luster, can fetch higher prices. Uncirculated specimens, especially those graded by professional services, may sell for 2 to 3 times the value of circulated ones. Collectors who focus on FAO-themed coinage or Italian currency often seek out pristine examples of this coin, especially when assembling complete thematic sets. As for the no mint mark version, unless independently confirmed as an error and in high grade, its value remains speculative and typically does not exceed that of a standard 1979 issue. Now, let's talk about what the 1979 100 lire coin is actually worth today, in the year 2025. Keep in mind that coin values can fluctuate slightly due to collector demand, metal markets, and condition-specific sales, but overall, this is what you can expect. A coin in well-circulated condition, showing obvious signs of wear, will typically be worth between $1 and $2. These are common and easy to find online or at coin shops. A coin in better circulated condition, with moderate detail and fewer surface marks, might bring closer to $2 to $3. Coins in near uncirculated or extremely fine condition, with most original detail intact and only minimal handling marks, can be worth $3 to $5. Uncirculated specimens, those with no signs of circulation and still exhibiting mint luster, may command prices of $5 to $10, depending on appeal and demand. If a coin is certified by a grading service and receives a high grade, such as MS65 or better, it could bring higher values, particularly to collectors interested in top condition examples. As for the no mint mark version, its value is highly dependent on proof of its uniqueness. If a coin is genuinely struck without the mint mark and confirmed as a mint error, and if it remains in uncirculated condition, then its value could be significantly higher. Possibly $10 or more, depending on how collectors view its authenticity. However, without confirmation, it is safer to assume standard valuation. If you happen to own a 1979 100 lire coin, here are a few things you can do. First, inspect the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine the area where the mint mark should appear. If you can't see it, check for signs of wear or flattening. Look at both sides of the coin to evaluate its overall condition. Second, consider grading. If your coin appears to be in excellent condition and you believe it might be uncirculated, it may be worth having it graded. This process can verify its condition and authenticity, which can help maximize its value if you intend to sell. Third, manage expectations. While the coin is a beautiful piece of Italian numismatic history, it is not a rare coin in general terms. Its value is more sentimental and historical than financial for most holders. Finally, if you're a collector, this coin fits nicely into several thematic categories: Italian Republic coins, FAO commemoratives, or 20th century international coins. It's a solid addition to any beginner or intermediate collection. The 1979 Italian 100 lire coin remains an iconic example of Italy's coinage during the late 20th century. Though millions were minted, its commemorative purpose and artistic design make it a collectible worth keeping. The mystery surrounding the missing mint mark adds a layer of intrigue, but as of now, it is not officially recognized as a separate variety or rare error unless independently authenticated. For most, this coin represents a fascinating piece of post-war Italian history, a symbol of global cooperation, national identity, and artistic expression. In 2025, its value remains modest, but its story remains rich. The 1975 5 pesetas coin, specifically the version with no mint mark. This coin is much more than a simple piece of metal. It carries the weight of Spain's history, reflects changes in its political landscape, and tells a story that intrigues collectors worldwide. But what exactly makes this coin special? How rare is it? What is its real value? And what can you expect if you want to buy or sell one in 2025? We're going to explore all of that in detail. To truly appreciate this coin, we must first understand the period in which it was minted. The year 1975 marked a pivotal moment in Spain's history. It was the final year of Francisco Franco's long dictatorship, which had dominated Spain since the late 1930s. In November 1975, Franco passed away, and Spain began its transition toward democracy and a constitutional monarchy under King Juan Carlos I. This political shift was reflected subtly in the currency, as the country was eager to modernize and move forward, while still holding on to symbols of its heritage. The 5 pesetas coin from 1975 was among the coins circulating widely during this period. The obverse of the coin typically features a portrait of King Juan Carlos I, symbolizing the new monarchy and Spain's step towards a modern era. Around the portrait are inscriptions denoting his title as King of Spain along with the year 1975, marking the authorizing date for the coin's issue. The reverse side displays the Spanish coat of arms along with the denomination, 5 pesetas. An interesting feature of these coins is the star date system. The main date on the coin shows 1975, but inside a small star on the reverse is a different year, representing the actual year of minting. This star date can be 1976, 1977, 1978, 1979, or 1980. This method allowed the mint to produce coins authorized in 1975 over multiple subsequent years without changing the main date. This makes the 1975 5 pesetas coin a family of variants rather than a single coin. The mint responsible for these coins was the Royal Mint in Madrid, known as the Real Casa de la Moneda. It was the center of Spanish coin production, responsible for producing millions of coins each year to meet circulation demands. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The 1975 5 pesetas coin was made of a copper-nickel alloy, combining durability with a pleasing silvery appearance. It weighs approximately 5.75 grams and measures 23 millimeters in diameter, which makes it a convenient size for everyday use. The edge is finely reeded, offering a textured feel that also helped to prevent counterfeiting and clipping. The obverse side features a detailed profile of King Juan Carlos I, designed to emphasize the new monarchy and the country's hope for stability after decades of authoritarian rule. Around the portrait, the inscription spells out, Juan Carlos I Rey de España, a proud statement of the king's role. On the reverse, the Spanish coat of arms is centrally displayed, flanked by the denomination, 5 tas. The date 1975 appears prominently, with the star beside it containing the smaller year indicating the exact minting year. The coin series includes several variants based on the star date inside the star. These variants are identified as 1975 star 76, 77, 78, 79, and 80. Each of these has its own mintage numbers, with some being produced in very large quantities, while others had smaller print runs. For example, the 1975 star 78 variant was minted in the hundreds of millions, making it one of the most common types. When it comes to rarity, the story becomes nuanced. The standard 5 pesetas coins from 1975 and its star date variants are generally regarded as common, especially in circulated condition. Because of their large mintage figures, many of these coins survive in collections and even among casual coin holders. However, rarity is not just about numbers minted but also about condition, anomalies, and variants. For the 1975 5 pesetas, the no mint mark variant is often misunderstood. The coin's design itself doesn't prominently carry a mint mark like some other coins might, but collectors look carefully at the star date and whether the mint mark or other details are missing, doubled, or anomalous. Some rare varieties do exist within this family. Among these are error coins or mule coins, which occur when the coin is struck with mismatched dies or errors in the planchet or design. One famous example related to this coin series is the so-called España 82 error mule, a coin associated with the World Cup commemorations that features unusual die combinations and is much scarcer than the regular circulation coins. Additionally, coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition command significantly higher interest among collectors. While a worn 1975 5 pesetas coin might be common and have minimal value, the same coin in mint state with full luster and no marks can be much more valuable. Over the decades, the 5 pesetas coins from 1975 have shifted from being mere pocket change to collectible items of interest. This transformation is driven by collector demand, historical significance, and rarity in condition or variant. In worn condition, these coins typically sell for small amounts, often under $1 or euro. This is because their abundance in circulation and ease of acquisition keep prices low. However, as we move toward better grades, value increases dramatically. For example, coins graded as very fine or extra fine, showing clear details but some minor wear, often fetch a few dollars or euros each. Coins in extremely fine condition, with only light wear and stronger detail, can command prices in the range of several dollars, but the real value comes into play for uncirculated coins. These coins, which retain their original mint luster and show no signs of circulation, are sought after by collectors willing to pay premiums. Prices for such coins can reach the hundreds of euros or dollars, especially for rarer star date variants like 1975 star 80, which had a somewhat lower mintage. Error coins and special variants can command even more significant sums. sometimes entering the high hundreds or even low thousands of euros depending on rarity and condition. However, these coins must be authenticated and ideally graded by professional services to verify their authenticity and grade. Looking at the market in 2025, the 1975 5 pesetas coin continues to hold interest among collectors, particularly those specializing in Spanish numismatics or coins from the late 20th century. The general trend is that standard circulated coins remain readily available and maintain modest prices, rarely exceeding a few dollars or euros unless they are in exceptionally good condition. The market for these common variants is steady but not booming. For collectors who have high-grade specimens, especially those graded by professional agencies, the outlook is positive. Quality coins are becoming scarcer as time passes because many coins have been lost, damaged, or remain in lower grades after decades of circulation. Therefore, premium coins can attract serious buyers, with prices ranging from €100 up to 200 or more, depending on the star date variant, and I appeal. Rare era coins or mules from this era are particularly interesting. Because their numbers are limited, these coins have strong collector appeal and can command a premium. Enthusiasts who recognize their significance are willing to pay accordingly, making them some of the most valuable pieces in the series. It's also worth noting that as time progresses and the euro has fully replaced the peseta, interest in historical Spanish coins has increased. Collectors view them not just as currency but as artifacts representing Spain's political and cultural evolution. This broader demand helps support prices and drives interest in coins like the 1975 5 pesetas. If you are a collector, investor, or someone who just stumbled upon a 1975 5 pesetas coin and wonder what it's worth, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, inspect the star date carefully. This small detail can make a significant difference in the coin's identity and value. Verify whether the star date is clear and complete, and whether it corresponds with common or rare variants. Second, assess the condition. Coins without wear, scratches, or discoloration will always command higher prices. Even slight imperfections can reduce value, so handle your coin carefully and avoid cleaning it, as improper cleaning can damage the surface and reduce collectible worth. Third, consider professional grading. If you believe your coin is rare, unusual, or in exceptional condition, submitting it to a reputable grading service can increase its market value by providing third-party authentication and certification. Fourth, be aware of counterfeits and altered coins. Although less common for relatively recent coins like the 1975 5 pesetas, for valuable variants or errors, there can be fakes or cleaned coins. A trusted numismatist or expert opinion is invaluable. Lastly, keep an eye on market trends. Coin values fluctuate depending on collector demand, economic conditions, and auction results. Staying informed about recent sales and collector forums can help you get a fair price whether buying or selling. In conclusion, the 1975 Spain 5 pesetas coin, especially the no mint mark variant, holds an important place in Spanish numismatic history. While the majority of these coins are common and affordable, collectors' interest in high-grade specimens and rare variants continues to push prices upward. Whether you own one of these coins or are considering acquiring one, understanding its history, variants, condition, and market trends is essential to appreciating its true value. The 1975 Belgium 5 francs coin, a fascinating relic from mid-20th century European numismatics. In today's video, we will embark on a complete journey through the history, design, rarity, production, and market value of this coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector, an investor, or simply a curious viewer, This deep dive into the 1975 Belgian 5 francs with no mint mark will provide all the insights you need. Let's begin by exploring the origins of this coin, its place in Belgian history, its cultural context, and why it has become a subject of increasing interest in numismatic circles in 2025. The 1970s were a decade of quiet transformation for Belgium. Following the post-World War II economic rebuilding period, the nation was stabilizing under the reign of King Baudouin I. His reign, which began in 1951, was one of quiet dignity, social reforms, and a steady hand through turbulent political waters, especially during the federal restructuring of the Belgian state. By 1975, the Belgian economy was modernizing, and the country was increasingly integrating with European neighbors, preparing, albeit unknowingly, for the eventual transition to the euro decades later. During this period, coins like the 5 franc served not only as currency but as emblems of national identity and state continuity. The 1975 5 francs coin of Belgium is a classic example of utilitarian elegance. The obverse features the left-facing portrait of King Baudouin I, styled in a modern yet regal manner. The portrait is subtle in its detail, yet distinct, capturing the calm demeanor of a monarch who symbolized unity in a complex multilingual nation. No inscriptions other than the monarch's name and the year of issue appear on the obverse, making the design clean and focused. The year 1975 is located along the rim, and notably, there is no mint mark present on this issue. The absence of a mint mark, in this case, is not an error but a standard for Belgian circulation coins of that time, especially when minted by the Royal Belgian Mint. Turning to the reverse, we find a modern, minimalist depiction of the coin's denomination. The large numeral 5 sits prominently on the left, followed by the currency FR, representing francs. Above it sits the royal crown, a symbol of the constitutional monarchy. To the right of the denomination, a geometric oak branch adds a subtle decorative element. The word Belgique, the French name for Belgium, curves along the lower half of the coin, completing the national identity of the piece. The coin is made of copper nickel, a composition favored for durability and corrosion resistance. Its diameter is approximately 25 millimeters, and it weighs around 6 grams, making it fairly standard among European coins of that time in terms of size and weight. In 1975, Belgium minted nearly 34 million 5 francs coins for general circulation. While that number may sound large, it must be considered in light of several important factors. First, these coins were used heavily in daily commerce and thus suffered significant wear and tear. Second, with the eventual transition to the euro in 2002, the Belgian franc was phased out, and millions of coins were melted down or lost. Many of the 1975 issues were never preserved in collectible condition, meaning that while the coin is not technically rare, finding high-grade examples today has become increasingly difficult. This scarcity in premium condition is what drives collector demand and higher valuations in the present-day market. There is also a growing interest in coins without mint marks, particularly in the context of 20th-century European minting practices. Since some countries used multiple mints or varying symbols to distinguish production runs, the lack of a mint mark sometimes sparks curiosity and speculative demand, especially when paired with limited availability in higher grades. While the 1975 Belgium 5 francs coin is not considered extremely rare in circulated condition, coins with specific features may command significant premiums. For example, coins in mint state condition, that is, those that show no signs of circulation, wear, or environmental damage, are considerably harder to find. Moreover, coins that exhibit striking anomalies such as planchet errors, doubling, or die cracks can be classified as mint errors and can dramatically increase the value of the piece. Though such errors are uncommon, their appearance in this series is not impossible and has led to some specimens trading hands for far more than face value. Some collectors also consider coins that exhibit exceptional toning, where the coin has naturally developed attractive coloration due to oxidation, as more desirable. This aesthetic factor can often influence value, even when technical grading remains the same. Now we arrive at the most important question for many collectors and investors: what is the current market value of the 1975 Belgium 5 francs coin in 2025? The answer depends largely on condition and context. In average circulated condition, the coin holds modest numismatic value. These coins typically trade between 10 to 50 US cents, primarily among beginner collectors or those seeking to complete a year set of Belgian currency. However, coins in excellent uncirculated condition, known as mint state or MS, are increasingly harder to locate. In this condition, the coin can sell for anywhere between $1 and $5 US, depending on overall eye appeal, luster, and whether the coin has been certified by a grading service. If a coin is found with a significant mint error, or if it has been preserved in an original mint roll or collection since 1975, the value can rise substantially. Some error specimens or proof-like strikes can reach values as high as $20 or more among niche buyers. Additionally, collector demand is steadily rising in 2025 as global numismatics has gained more popularity due to online marketplaces, social media communities, and increased interest in tangible investments. Coins like the 1975 Belgium 5 francs are no longer viewed as just relics of history. They are now recognized as affordable entry points into the world of coin collecting. Beyond monetary value, the 1975 5 francs coin carries cultural and historical significance. For Belgians, it represents an era of modernization, social stability, and European cooperation. For collectors worldwide, it is a beautifully designed piece with strong visual elements and a clean, modern aesthetic that has stood the test of time. Its affordability also makes it accessible to new collectors who may be building their first world coin collection. And because it is part of a larger series that spans multiple decades, it encourages the pursuit of other related coins, such as earlier or later issues, coins featuring different monarch portraits or denominations phased out by the euro. In summary, the 1975 Belgium 5 francs coin is not just a piece of metal from the past, it is a gateway into the story of a nation, the reign of a respected monarch, and the broader European economic history that eventually led to the creation of the Eurozone. While it may not be the most valuable coin in the world, its historical charm, elegant design, and growing scarcity in higher grades make it a smart and satisfying addition to any serious numismatic collection. Whether you're acquiring it for history, investment, or personal passion, this coin is a reminder that even the most modest pieces can tell rich and compelling stories. The 1984 No Mint Mark 50 centimo coin. Today, we dive into the story behind this coin, unravel its historical context, examine its rarity and collectability, and uncover what it's truly worth in the year 2025. Whether you are a seasoned collector or simply curious about the coins you might have stashed away, this video will guide you through everything you need to know. The 1984 50 centimo coin is part of the Philippines' renowned Flora and Fauna series, a collection of coins that were minted starting in the early 1980s and designed to celebrate the rich biodiversity and cultural heritage of the country. This series marked a shift in the Philippines' coinage, featuring native species of plants and animals on the reverse side, and national heroes on the obverse. For this particular denomination, the 50 centimo, the obverse features the image of Marcelo H. del Pilar, a distinguished Filipino writer, journalist, and patriot who played a vital role in the reform movement during the Spanish colonial period. His likeness is surrounded by the inscription, Republica in Pilipinas, and the year of minting, 1984. The reverse side showcases the Philippine eagle, scientifically known as Pithecofaga jefferyi, which is the national bird and one of the largest and most powerful eagles in the world. This magnificent creature is a symbol of strength and resilience and perfectly embodies the spirit of the nation. This coin was minted in copper nickel, weighing approximately 6 grams and measuring about 25 millimeters in diameter. It features a plain edge and, notably for this 1984 issue, does not carry any mint mark. This absence of a mint mark is typical for coins produced during this period in the Philippines and is an identifying characteristic collectors pay attention to. With a massive mintage of over 120 million pieces, this coin was widely circulated and intended to serve as everyday currency for Filipinos. It was designed to facilitate daily transactions and played a critical role in the country's monetary system throughout the 1980s and into the early 1990s. During its years in circulation, the 50 centimo coin was a staple in small transactions, often used for buying street food, paying for public transport, or making change. It was a tangible representation of the country's economic life, seen and handled by millions. However, as time passed, inflation and economic shifts gradually eroded the purchasing power of smaller denominations like the 50 centimo. This gradual decline led to decreased usage and ultimately the demonetization of coins from the Flora and Fauna series. By the late 1990s, these coins were officially withdrawn from circulation and ceased to be legal tender, marking the end of an era. Despite this, their legacy lives on, not only as artifacts of everyday life but as pieces of history treasured by collectors. Given its extremely high original mintage, the 1984 no-mint mark 50 centimo coin is not considered rare in the traditional sense. Millions of these coins were made and distributed, meaning that even decades later, they remain relatively easy to find, particularly in circulated condition. However, rarity is not solely a function of mintage numbers. The survival rate of coins in pristine or uncirculated condition is far lower. Most specimens encountered today show varying degrees of wear, corrosion, or damage caused by decades of handling and exposure to the elements. For collectors, condition is king. Coins preserved in near mint or uncirculated condition, exhibiting sharp details, full luster, and minimal surface marks, are much harder to come by. These examples tend to attract higher interest and command premiums. The absence of a mint mark on the 1984 50 centimo coin is the standard and expected form, so it does not create additional rarity or value by itself. What can make a specimen more valuable are its condition, provenance, and whether it has been preserved carefully over the years. Additionally, coins that have not been cleaned or altered and retain their original finish are more desirable to collectors. Improper cleaning or polishing often reduces a coin's appeal and lowers its value significantly. Turning to the question on everyone's mind, what is this coin actually worth today? For circulated examples showing noticeable wear and tear, the coin's value is generally close to its original face value or just slightly above. In other words, such coins usually trade for just a few cents, making them mostly interesting as souvenirs rather than investment pieces. However, for coins that have been carefully preserved, the story is different. Near mint or uncirculated 1984 50 centimo coins can command prices ranging from a few dollars to upwards of $10 or more, depending on the market and buyer demand. Collectors often pay a premium for coins with exceptional eye appeal, crisp details, and strong luster. Graded coins, those evaluated and certified by professional grading services, can sometimes sell for higher amounts because buyers trust the condition assessment, while it is unlikely that any typical 1984 no-mint mark 50 centimo coin will fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars, coins in outstanding condition remain highly collectible and can be a worthwhile addition to a collection. Market values can also vary based on geographic location, current interest in Philippine coinage, and fluctuations in the collector community's preferences. If you have one of these coins and want to evaluate its potential worth, start by carefully examining its condition. Look for signs of wear on the high points of the design, Marcelo H. Del Pilar's facial features, and the feathers of the eagle on the reverse. The more detail you can see, the better the coin's grade. Check for any discoloration, corrosion, or surface damage. A coin with original, bright surfaces is much more desirable. If possible, compare your coin to high-quality images of known uncirculated specimens. This will give you a visual benchmark. Consider having your coin professionally graded if you believe it is in exceptional condition. This grading can help establish its market value and make it easier to sell or trade. The 1984 no-mint mark Philippines 50 centimo coin is more than just a small piece of metal. It's a window into the country's rich history, its culture, and the everyday life of Filipinos in the 1980s. While it may not be rare in sheer numbers, the coin's true value lies in its condition and the story it tells. Whether you hold one in your hand or simply appreciate the art and history of coins, understanding the background and nuances of this coin enhances its significance. If you are a collector, keep an eye out for specimens in excellent condition. They can be modest treasures. And if you're new to coin collecting, this coin serves as a great introduction to Philippine numismatics, offering a blend of history, artistry, and tangible connection to the past. The 1967 20 centimes coin with no mint mark. Though modest in denomination, this small piece of metal carries a rich history and, for collectors, holds a unique place due to its design, mintage, and current market appeal. Whether you are an experienced numismatist or simply intrigued by coins, this comprehensive exploration will provide you with everything you need to know about the coin's background, rarity, value, and where it stands in the coin market of 2025. The 1960s were a time of steady economic recovery and modernization in France following the upheavals of World War II and the early post-war years. The franc remained the official currency, subdivided into 100 centimes, and the French government sought to maintain a stable coinage system that served everyday transactions with small denominations such as the 20 centimes coin. The 1967 20 centimes coin is part of the Marianne series, which features Marianne, the allegorical symbol of liberty and reason, embodying the spirit of the French Republic. This iconography had been widely used throughout French coinage and continues to symbolize the nation's values of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The coin's obverse proudly displays the bust of Marianne facing left, with flowing hair crowned by a Phrygian cap, a powerful emblem of freedom dating back to the French Revolution. Encircling the bust is the inscription, République Française, clearly denoting the issuing nation. Turning the coin over, the reverse features the denomination, 20 centimes, prominently in the center, accompanied by the national motto Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, underscoring the ideals France holds dear. Surrounding these inscriptions are delicate sprigs and ornamental motifs, balancing aesthetic appeal with symbolism. The coin itself is composed of aluminum bronze, a durable alloy that was chosen for its resistance to wear and attractive golden hue. The coin weighs approximately 4 grams and measures 23.5 millimeters in diameter, making it a convenient size for daily handling. One key point about the 1967 issue is the absence of a mint mark. While many coins carry a small letter or symbol denoting the mint where they were struck, the 1967 20 centimes was produced in such volume at the Paris Mint that it was issued without a distinguishing mark. This no mint mark designation has sometimes caused confusion among collectors, but it essentially identifies this specific issue as Paris produced. The 1967 20 centimes coin was minted in very large quantities, well over 130 million pieces. This massive mintage ensured the coin was widely available in circulation across France and the French territories. For many years, these coins changed hands daily in markets, cafes, public transportation, and countless small purchases. Because of its vast circulation, the 1967 20 centimes is considered a common coin in most numismatic catalogs and collections. Coins of this date are found regularly by collectors and dealers alike, often in various grades ranging from heavily circulated and worn to near mint condition. Despite its common nature, the coin remains an important artifact of French economic history, representing an era before the franc was eventually replaced by the euro decades later. Its presence in countless transactions ties it deeply to the everyday life of French citizens during the 1960s and beyond. Given the very high mintage, one might assume this coin is of little interest to collectors. However, as with many coins, condition and preservation play an outsized role in establishing collectability and value. The majority of 1967 20 centimes coins available today show significant wear, smooth surfaces, faded details, and sometimes scratches or discoloration from decades of circulation. These coins, while historically interesting, usually have limited monetary value. On the other hand, coins that have survived in exceptional condition, uncirculated or nearly so, are considerably scarcer. Such coins display crisp detail, full original luster, sharp edges, and no significant marks. These qualities make them much more desirable to collectors aiming to build complete and high-quality collections of French coinage. Another interesting factor enhancing the coin's appeal to certain collectors is its role as part of the Marianne series. This series is widely collected both within France and internationally, partly because of its beautiful symbolism and partly because it represents an important chapter in French numismatics. Although there are no major recognized mint errors or variants for the 1967 20 centimes no mint mark coin, any accidental anomalies such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws, if found, would greatly increase collector interest and value. So, what does all this mean in terms of the coins? Market value today in 2025, because the 1967 20 centimes is widely available in circulated grades, its value generally remains modest for most specimens. Common circulated coins often trade at or near face value, which, while obsolete as legal tender, translates to a low collector price, typically just a few cents or dollars. However, the real value lies in coins that have been well preserved. For coins graded fine to very fine, the market price can be a few euros or dollars, reflecting the modest collector demand for coins in solid condition. When you move up to extremely fine or about uncirculated grades, the value increases notably. Collectors are willing to pay several times more for coins with better detail and less wear, sometimes reaching 5 to 10 euros or dollars depending on condition and appeal. At the highest end of the spectrum, uncirculated coins that have been carefully preserved or professionally graded by a reputable third-party service can command prices exceeding 10 euros or dollars. The exact premium depends on factors such as surface quality, strike sharpness, and overall aesthetic appeal. Because the 1967 20 centimes no mint mark coin is a common date, prices rarely spike dramatically. However, the combination of its historical significance, pleasing design, and scarcity in pristine condition gives it a solid foothold in the collector's market. It's also worth noting that fluctuating precious metal prices have minimal impact here, since the coin's aluminum-bronze composition has limited intrinsic metal value. For collectors or sellers in 2025, the best strategy is to carefully assess condition, seek professional grading if warranted, and monitor market demand. Well-photographed listings on specialized coin auction platforms or dealer sites will typically fetch the best prices. To summarize, the 1967 France 20 centimes no mint mark coin is a common yet historically significant piece of French numismatic heritage. Its charming Marianne design reflects national identity and republican ideals, while its extensive mintage ensured it was an integral part of daily commerce in mid-20th century France. Though most surviving specimens are widely circulated and modest in value, coins in high-grade or uncirculated condition can command respectable premiums among collectors. The coin's collectible appeal is enhanced by its connection to the broader Marianne series, making it a valuable addition to many European coin collections. In the current 2025 market, prices for this coin vary significantly depending on condition, ranging from a few cents for worn examples to upwards of €10 or more for pristine, certified specimens. If you own one of these coins, consider its condition carefully. Even a small upgrade in grade can significantly affect its worth. And if you are an aspiring collector, the 1967 20 centimes is a wonderful piece to study, appreciate, and perhaps add to your collection as a representation of France's rich monetary past. Thank you very much for watching this in-depth exploration of the 1967 France 20 centimes no mint mark coin. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please like and subscribe for more detailed numismatic content. Feel free to leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear if you own this coin and what condition it's in. Until next time, happy collecting and may your coins tell stories worth preserving.